Hey, I was about to go for my morning skate. Do you want to cruise with me? Is that cool?
Yeah. Well, it looks great, Sean. I mean, thanks for talking with me today.
No problem.
It's awesome to see beautiful California and hear from you. But so you built if I understand right, a photo studio for your wife's cake business. Is that right?
Yeah, so it's pretty much a light rig. And I was trying to retrace my steps this morning as to how I arrived at it. And a long time ago, I built it was like a DIY curtain rod setup, and that's when I first learned about EMT. Is that what it is? EMT
Yeah,
or EM?
got it.
Yeah, and I learned that you get a 10-foot rod for $6. And it's like, wow. So then I was talking with my brother-in-law, and we're trying to get a better setup created. And I'm like, dude, we should get some of this EMT stuff. And because we were looking at other rigs online, and I think that's when the maker pipe came up. I have a feeling you have maybe that's one of your key search terms, EMT or whatever.
Yeah, if you're
Yeah.
if you're a DIY or a builder or something like that, and you're interested in EMT, we try to show up under Conduit.
So I think that's where I saw it. And when I saw the parts, it just immediately made sense. I was like, oh, this is dope. Really? You can do this? And then if I show you what we were looking at, that what we were trying to rebuild, it just screams conduit and maker pipe. And the setup that we were looking at was like $300. And I think we were able to build what we built for less than 100. And it's like modular, and it's actually even better, in my opinion, than what they were selling online for what we needed. Obviously, because so here's my wife's bakery. It's called Delicious Arts. And let's go ahead and go inside. I'll show you the setup.
Well, that's fantastic. How long has she been in business?
Wow. I think. Sorry about the fan noise. They started off retail, and I think they so here's the bakery. I'll just walk back. And I think they ended up they've been doing the custom cakes, and they made it a baking studio about 6 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I guess you'll see it behind me too. Here's the ovens, we got the racks. And then this used to be the retail section, which is now kind of a studio for them. Let me turn on the lights.
When you say used to be, is that just the what's going on these days? It's not a retail anymore?
Actually, no. They switched over, I think it was about 6 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. But it was a coffee shop / bakery. And once they built up the custom cake business, which you can see here, all their cakes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. Once they built that up, they just went custom cakes all the way. Retail was, general public. Who wants to deal with the general public, right? So, yeah, once they built up their portfolio, they were off and running. So, kind of wanted to show you what we were looking at, but I can just send you a picture of it later. But it's a really simple build.
Can you zoom in on a couple of those? I'm eyeing some really cool cakes behind you.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Let me, so I'm gonna see what you're looking at. You got Finding Nemo.
Yeah.
I mean, it goes for days. Let me just tell me if I'm panning. Here, let me get close. And then here's an influencer. This girl, she does a lot of tech reviews. You got The Weeknd.
Wow.
Yeah, they did one for Blink. So living in LA, you get these people calling you, fancy. There's my wife right there doing her thing. They did one for Bill Maher, a little 420 cake. And these are actually old. If you go to Delicious Arts Cakes on Instagram, the latest ones are on there and they've definitely leveled up. So it's her and her brother who do it. And he used to be a 3D artist for Sony. He do like really big video games like God of War and stuff like that. So he does a lot of the figurines and all of the really intricate stuff. Yeah, so yeah, this is a really simple build, but the maker pipe parts were, key, or just wouldn't have happened. So we bought these 2 photo stands here, and they're pretty beefy, and they ended up being 3/4 inch right here.
Oh,
And so
fantastic.
the maker pipe, yeah. So like tripods normally have a piece on top where you can hook up a light, and we just took that piece off. There's just a little rivet that holds them. And then here you go right here. That was pretty key right there. And that's, that's I don't know if that's your main part, that's the one that first drew us. But then we got one more right here. I don't know which this one's called.
Mhm.
And that allows us to position, we got the pipe over here. We can move these lights, along the conduit. And then these 2 lights are bounce lights, which I can turn it on for you. You can see. So and here we go.
Nice.
Adjust that. Yeah, it's really, and it's like, my wife used to have to like get out this stand right here and hook everything up, and it would just take a lot of time for her. And when she was really busy and we weren't here, it was just a pain. So this is what we made. And what's cool about this is you can raise and lower these lights as needed. So all depending on the cake, if it's a really lighter cake and it's really bouncing a lot of light, we'll raise it up. If it's a darker cake and we need to shine some stuff and really highlight some areas, we can lower it down. And then here's our key light right here. And that's it. So yeah, simple, but without the maker pipe stuff, it just would have been a lot more expensive. And then we did buy 2 more of these stands that we were thinking we could put over here, and then we could run pipe this way, and then you can just have a grid of pipes and then really position, all different lights. That was more of a nice to have, not a need to have. But I can imagine other photographers or videographers, if they need to switch up their light temps or just quickly move things, a lot of them have like those overhead grids. And you can have floodlights, key lights, all kinds of stuff. So without too much more money, I mean, I think these stands were like $50. Oh God.
Cool.
You should put that in there, huh?
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
fantastic. I mean, I love you probably used 3 connectors, something like that, and got a whole
Yeah.
lot of value out of it.
A ton. Yeah, absolutely. And
Right.
again, it's not hard to scale the project to be even that much more functional, because the overhead light, rack systems and rail systems, they're in the hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And for probably about 80 more bucks, we could definitely extend this out, use a couple more connectors, and we'd be set.
Yeah, when I saw your setup, it definitely interested me because we've been doing a lot of more photos and videos for MakerPipe, and we're trying to figure it out too. How do you position these lights? How do you
Hmm.
put the microphones? And it's a lot of
Hmm.
times a custom setup, which
Yeah.
C-stands and these goalpost
Hmm.
sort of things, they get pricey.
Uh-huh. They do. They do. Yeah, we definitely hacked it. You know what I mean? Yeah, if you buy like the legit videography, filmography, that kind of stuff, it's very expensive. It's super durable if you're going out on shoots and stuff like that. But like for a home studio that's not really moving around much, you can buy these. I think these are like photo stands. They're not really like video stands, and they're a lot less expensive. And because the conduit is so light, um, you can really have a great setup.
Hmm. Yeah, and I'm impressed because you've got the light uh, held over the subject just with that one piece of
Yeah,
conduit.
yeah, and it is counterbalanced in the back, and we can, and I'll sometimes just grab this tripod, we can easily just push this up, and then if we really want to get this light in the back to come down.
Hmm.
um, yeah, so it's really nice that it can just kind of like hold it here. But if we want to rotate this, we just kind of push it up. And then this light we can swing around because it's on this, and it'll stay. So we can position different angles. And yeah, it's just really easy and it's fun to work with, you know?
Yeah, that's nice. Did it take a lot of experimentation to get the seamless background and how you lit it, or was that something you had done before?
Yeah, I mean, I've done a little bit of photography. I work in advertising, so I've been on sets. I mean, that's not really my thing. Um, but we call this a white cyc, and it was pretty straightforward. We did buy 2 layers because it was a little bit translucent and wasn't bouncing enough light off of it.
Yeah.
But once we got 2 of these things, and I think these were like 20-30 bucks. And then that T stand in the back, and then we just clipped it on, you know. So really this backlight is to mostly to just bounce light off of here to light this up, you know. And actually we have some sandbags down here, but we'll move these forward or backward as needed, just to get the lighting right.
Right. Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, I don't know how to do what you did there, and knowing that you have to shine a light down the backdrop. The white cyc, you said?
Yeah, it's short for cyclorama.
Oh,
So cyclorama, cyclorama. And that's like when you see like like a T-Mobile commercial and this person's just standing on this huge white space. That's actually a room, and the walls are painted white, and they have um, you know, they have this curved, you know, there's no bottom corner. So it's all curved. So you don't have a shadow in the corner, and it's seamless. And so then the light, like you don't see any seams in the background. It's just pure white.
right.
So if you go to like a stage, they're filming a commercial, and if it's on the white cyc, you know where to go because that's where they have the big room with the white wall and all that stuff. And they have light racks all across the ceiling.
Mm.
So, like I said, we started to make that, but then as soon as we got to here, we're like, this is enough. Like we're good. Yeah.
Yeah. Once you get that good photo, why go further?
Yeah. Yeah. We were just kind of geeking out. We just wanted to keep going. We were like, oh my God, it's so cheap. We could just like build this whole thing. And it's like, because then we would have tripods over here, and, we just needed to calm down a little bit.
Yeah. Well, it looks fantastic, and I definitely learned something about how to pull that off. What do the
Yeah.
bounce lights do? Just generally light the area?
Yeah. Like during the day, and we have this window here that in the morning or just during the day, there's a lot of natural light that's coming in. Ideally, when you have a setup like this, you would block out any other light source so you could really control the lighting. And this light source, this window, it kind of dilutes the power of these lights. If that makes sense. It's kind of like if you're in a dark room and you turn a light on, it seems so bright. So we weren't going to black out this side, but we needed to add more of this temperature light. And so we took advantage of that, and we got these garage lights that are like, they're like 23,000 lumens. They're so bright. And we just throw them off the ceiling, and we get that nice bounce light. It's really diffused and nice, and that helps with the lighting.
Nice.
So yeah, those things are kind of crazy.
Well, that's great. That's super
Yeah.
helpful. I love
Mhm.
those lighting tips because it's something I don't know anything about, but
Yeah,
you're challenged with it at a small level, and it's cool to see a setup like
yeah.
yours.
Lighting's tricky. It's
Yeah.
tricky. And I'll tell you, every cake that we shoot needs a different lighting setup. We always have to adjust just a little bit, just depending on the color of the cake, the size of the cake. But this really allows us that flexibility.
Well, great, Sean. I'm glad it worked out for you. Thanks so much
Yeah,
for talking with me and the order. We really appreciate your business. Thanks so much,
yeah,
man.
for sure. Hey, thanks for making it.
Oh yeah, my pleasure.
Appreciate it.
All right,
All right, Dave. Take
I'll
care.
talk to you soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.